right, welcome back to the Washington football team news. And welcome back to the Chocolate City Show. Got some news regarding the Washington football team. I guess they got some interest in offensive lineman Okung. They still got some. They have some issues with. Obviously, I think they still have some hiccups with, or maybe they're just waiting for their general managers collective that they got, and the latest edition of Chris Polian. Before they actually start getting into the meat and potatoes of addressing the Brandon Sheriff contract or contract extension, or and I know there are some rumors or some interest in Russell Okung, and so they're trying to piece some things together. They're looking to upgrade, I guess, here and there. Do you have trepidations about Brandon Sheriff? I don't really. I mean, he gets injuries. That would be a concern. So he definitely has a market, and injuries are a concern with him. So I understand the hesitancy regarding that, but he's on the free open market now. What kind of value do you think he have left? Offensive linemen can go for the next. I think he got a good, if he stays healthy, possibly a good 8 to 10 year run, 8-year run, depending on if he wants to play that long. I think he want to win a Super Bowl. I think he does want to win that. He would like to win it in Washington. He said he would love to stay here. He loves the area. He loves Coach Ron Rivera. So there's that possibility. And Russell Okung, I guess, depending on the nature of the contract, he's an older guy. If that's the case, it's far-fetched to say, do you go out and reach out for maybe a Trent? I mean, he didn't re-sign with San Francisco, so I think he's going to become a free agent. And whether that, the relationship, I guess, was tumultuous with Bruce Allen, not so much Ron Rivera, but I think there were some issues on both sides that I think that they're better off, maybe, for the most part, just going about their business, going about their way, and no sense of tapping into that scenario, because I don't believe the fan base even want him back. I believe the fan base definitely acknowledged his talents and what he done for the organization, his service, playing injured. I don't think that has anything to do with it. To me, I think the way it was done and the way that it was just all of a sudden out of nowhere. Well, maybe not for them, but not on Trent's behalf, obviously. Because he had felt some kind of way for quite some time. But with his age, he's getting up there. I have to look at the film to see how well he played in San Francisco. So, I don't know. But I keep everything all options available and open. I wouldn't rule it out. I wouldn't slam the door on it. I think it's highly unlikely that it would happen, but never rule it out. Trust me, never rule it out. So there's been some interesting rumors in regards to, Washington and the Fitzpatrick possible making a deal or bring him in to be a bridge starter, I would assume. To me, it sounds like they definitely want to get off to a hot start. And if they can, but Ron, on the other hand, said he wants to have a quarterback competition. Now, obvious, if you bring somebody in like Fitzpatrick, veteran, knows every offense. He would know this offense. I had no problem with him working out the kinks of this offense and his concepts and things that he's seen over the years. Ryan Fitzpatrick is he's a dog, man. He's a dog. For the most part, he stays injury free. Now he's a gunslinger and all those terms and everything. And he has plenty of film. He's done some incredible things in this league. I can see where it can make sense for him. You have a team that's on the come up. You have a good defense. They pretty much is a quarterback away for the most part. They got weapons in place that they can win with, young weapons. And if everything stays on course, now injuries is a part of football, so you can never, you have to factor that in. You don't know who the injury bug might hit. Washington in the past has been devastated by the injury bug. So I'm thinking with the conditioning and better conditioning now, that can probably preventive maintenance will go a long way in trying to keep that at a low minimum. But you never know. You never know. So Taylor Heineke. You still have, I guess, Montez on the schedule at quarterback. Also, Alex Smith is under contract. So these are interesting developments. So, and then on top of that, you got the Wentz trade. And the Wentz trade proved that, Redskins, the Washington football team claimed they weren't really interested in the Wentz. And Philadelphia was not going to trade him to Washington unless Washington would make some ridiculous offer. But they wasn't going to trade him to Washington. For the most part, they have to figure out what they're going to. I'm pretty sure, like I said, I'm sure they figured it out. I'm sure they know what direction they want to go. I'm sure that they have a plan. They might revisit some plans, some inquiries, depending on. Got a long way off for the draft. Got a long way off. So. Interesting scenarios. Not just, Washington football team, but for the most part, the whole league. You've seen quarterback movement. And one expert, I think, I forget his name, but there was one story out there that it could be up to about 18. I think Adam Schefter, I think, reported. He said it could be possibly 18 quarterbacks to change teams. Up to 18 quarterbacks can possibly be on different rosters next year. Now, You still had the situation, the Aaron Rodgers situation. Now, from management and coach, Coach McFleur said that there's not even in the possibility we're thinking about Aaron Rodgers not being our quarterback. So they say that. They say that now, but as we saw it play out with Brett Favre, you never know. They drafted a quarterback in the first round. So, yeah, he could say for this upcoming season, I could see that claim, that logic. But for the foreseeable future, that's when it becomes dicey. And Aaron Rodgers knows this. He wants to strike while the iron is hot, either in Green Bay with an extension, a new contract, or somewhere else. Maybe San Francisco. To me, that would be the likely possibility. I think it would fit Kyle Shanahan's offense perfectly. His skill set, I think, would be flawless. I mean, it's the same as McFleur. So, Kyle Shanahan has his little wrinkles. Sean McVay has his own little wrinkles. And that's how the coaching tree develops. Jay Gruden. Jay Gruden's thing was he put anybody, plug and play. Anybody in the system, and he can move the ball. And for the most part, when he had Cousins, he can do that. Cousins was on the top of his game the last few years that he was here. It's just that big anchor of a arbitrage of the contract was discussed ad nauseum, 24/7. And so that has to distract you at some point. It has to take a toll throughout the whole organization. All the questions that you as a player is being asked. Someone asked you a question about the Kirk Cousins contract. What do you think is going to happen in the future? And so it's distractive. So if Taylor Heineke with a team-friendly deal can get it done in a quarterback competition, either with Ryan Fitzpatrick, possibility of Cam Newton, Jameis Winston, Sam Darnold, Marcus Mariota, Russell Wilson. It's a host of them. It's a volatile quarterback market right now. And I didn't even mention Dak Prescott or Deshaun Watson. There's possibilities. So everyone has to stay tuned. But it is a very interesting development with this Ryan Fitzpatrick news. That is very interesting. That tells me that they want to get off hot. They want to get off Ron Rivera want to get his offense out there cooking. Pop, pop, pop. Get it going. Got a veteran leaders out there. Ryan's not going to do them so much check downs, but he can do it, pretty much. And let's be fair, at this point of their careers, I would say Ryan Fitzpatrick is the better quarterback. He has mobility. I mean, he's not going to be no Lamar Jackson, but he can escape. He can get, he's not going to, he's looking to throw people open. And if he has to get out of the pocket, he can get out of the pocket. But for the most part, he's looking to strike downfield. And I just got to be honest with that. I love Alex Smith. Alex Smith can do no wrong by me. I love Alex Smith. But at some point, as we saw, when will the fatigue come into the leg and it have a flare up like it did this past season? So that's a question. And for that price tag, that's the question. A big one. Because you're looking at Alex Smith when healthy, or when he was at his greatness this year, especially in that Detroit game and in the Pittsburgh game. I can roll with that Alex Smith. I really can. But then when you see the San Francisco game, when he comes out and it's a little, you see something's off. He's looking physically, you don't see nothing noticeable, but something is off on his throws. His throws are just hanging out there. He got, it's like it was noodle arm. And I know his arm was no noodle arm. It got pop on his passes. So, and then we find out there was a calf strain, which makes sense. It wasn't complicated for me. When they said it was a calf strain, the same leg, yeah, it makes all the sense in the world. Fatigue. World-class athletes on that field. Chasing you around. Looking to do hard. Look, I mean, when he had to come in and sub for Kyle Allen after Jalen Ramsey laid that wood on him. And he had to come in for Kyle Allen for the rest of the game. And right off the bat, boom. You got a 300-pounder on your back in the rain. Man, Alex Smith is a warrior. So I don't say this to no, I'm not hating on him. I'm just being a realistic person. And these are just questions. Would it, if Alex Smith, will it surprise me if Alex Smith is the QB number 1 in the opener? Absolutely not. Will it shock me that Washington will have a totally different QB starting this on the opener, other than Alex Smith? It wouldn't shock me. No. So let's keep it, all the way a buck, because you got age factor, limit mobility, injury history, devastating injury history. So, the money, 24, 22, 23 million on the books. We need middle linebackers. We need offensive linemen. We need some more defensive linemen. We're not going to be able to sign these young bulls when they get to the tail end of their rookie contracts. So we have to keep grinding with the defensive linemen and offensive linemen for sure, and add some skill players. Definitely some linebackers. That front seven have to be taken care of. We need to address that. I know we get Matt Alnias back. Arguably, I would say our best lineman. When healthy, our best lineman. You got Deron Payne, Jonathan Allen. I mean, these guys are no jokes. These guys are animals in the trenches. Tim Settle. Ryan Kerrigan. You know, what are we gonna get back when Reuben Foster is he gonna be available to play this year? Could he be an answer there, linebacker with Holcomb, or do we look to upgrade on Holcomb? Obviously, we need linebackers, man. That complements and balances that defense. It's vital. Vital. Well, we got to develop one. But it is vital. That linebacker play has to go up another level this year without fail. We either got to address that in free agency or in the draft. And coach them up with whoever we got. Jack Del Rio and his defensive compadres will have to coach these guys up. Maybe another year in the scheme, get them a little bit more comfortable. But what I seen was more of a talent issue more than anything else. We need to upgrade. You can have all the smarts in the world, and that's beautiful, and that's no slight on you, one bit. It's very important. But you got to have that talent. That's what separates you. And that's valuable. So we got to upgrade. We got to find those jewels, some gems in the draft. Identify them. Get them in here, and hopefully everything will turn out like we expect. But we definitely got to address that position. The linebacker positions we have to address all the way around the board, in my opinion. So that's about it in this edition of Redskin Talk. I'm sorry, Washington football team talk. Sorry about if I offended anybody. I'm just talking about the football team, folks. Don't come at me. But we'll see. I mean, I'm gonna do this maybe once or twice a week on this channel on the Mint Game Network. So it's just bringing something more content to the channel and giving the people what they want. Shout out to Jalen Rose, and continue to grind, man. Continue to critique. I was gonna get into my basketball bag, but I took too much of your time already. So I appreciate the love. Thank you for stopping by, giving us a look-see, and we'll definitely come back and we'll do it again soon. Peace.